Hello everyone. Yeah, there's something I need to quickly show you guys. Um, oh, it has to do with the content, right? Dividing content, dividing the content area, right? See these three boxes, one, two, three, right? So if we're gonna make a content to suit the content grid area, which is coming after the header and after the hero section. So building a three box content area or building a two box content area or building a one box content area. Like I said earlier, I've already explained why a one box content area works with mobile, why three box works with PC and two box works with PC because of responsiveness of your web software. Right. And if you look at it critically, only a one box can work for mobile, right? In a view, right? So I'm going to be showing us how to do that right now, before we move to our modify. Um, so, um, yeah, let's get right to the code to build a three box to build a three box content area for our main content area. I hope you understand, right? We've talked about the header, we've talked about the hero section, we've talked about the content area, we've talked about the footer, right? So now let's talk about now let's dive into building the content area, which is by creating different box forms, right? So I'm going to go right in the code to yeah. So this is our code. I'm still back to the code, and on this code right now, we've already done for, I think this is navigation, right? This is the navigation area. So from this navigation area, we're going to be creating a div class. What does a div class does? A div class is simply um, a tag that is generic, that creates a kind of block level container element used to group other HTML elements and content together. So if you want to create like a group of, boxes, and you want to group all of them together, you use a div, you know, tag. So that's why I'm using this tag right now. So you will understand when you see the result, you understand what the div does best, right? So I'm going to start by creating my first div container. So you can call it div class. So you're going to give it a class, right? I've already explained what the class is doing. It's basically just like a category so that we can be able to style the container, right? Style the div tag easily, right? The same way we give our navigation, which is the unordered list. Yeah, so give it a class so that by the time you want to work on it, you can be able to style it easily on your CSS. So, right, yeah, we've created the flex container, the class called flex container, right, for our div tag. Then let's create. So inside this div tag, we're going to have three boxes. So which means that we're creating three box layout, right? So it's going to have a title and it's going to have a subtext, right? It's going to have a title and it's going to have a subtext. So and they will be in three layer, three layouts, right? So the first layout, let's create its own div, right? The first layout, let's create its own div. Yeah. So this is the first layer. Then this will be the second layer, div, and this will be the third layer. Make sure everything is closing, right? Make sure everything is closing, right? So for the first layer, we're gonna have a title for it. Let's say H2, right? You can call it um Fox. You can call it about okay. You can call it about us as title, and then you can now do the subtext. Subtext is going to be done using p tag to create a sentence, right? So let's use this default um this default sentence. So, right. So we're done with our first section, right? So let's create for our second box section. Don't forget that this is your first section and this is your second section, right? Just copy and paste. So we're gonna name this one. We can name it who we are, right? Let's go to our third box section. Copy and paste. Then we can name this one contact us. Contact us. Right. Good. So this is how it's you create your main content area like that has three layouts. But if it has two layouts, all you have to do is just delete the last layout, right? And you have your two layouts here, right? So don't forget the div must be open here and originally closed down here, right? This is the closing for the first section, for the last section. This is the closing for the second section, and this is the closing for the third for the first section. So let's see how it first looks before we proceed to you know before we proceed to style it. Can you see how they looks like, right? Can see about they are looking horizontally, right? Because it has not been styled, right? It has not been styled. So, and don't forget, we've already styled our H1 to have this color, right? So already style our H1 to have this color. So maybe we're gonna go back to go and style it properly now and make change the color to black or something. Yeah. So let's go right into it. Style.css. Let's first change our H1 style to black, the font color to black. Then I think our p tag is also white here. Let's change it to black. Yeah. So let's change our yeah. So we can change it to black. Okay. Can use some other color like brown sha, or this. Let me use this kind of color. Let's see how it looks. Okay. Yeah. Now we have it right. Um. Yeah, so that's just visible. So let's go and style it back. Yeah, we're gonna play with the color later, just for because of our time. We're gonna, match your colors with different elements and all of that. So let's just go right into it and create. Not to just have Um, let me just create the margin to be 10 pixel. Okay, yeah. So I think we have a div styling before here. That is what is affecting the result of, yes, this particular one. This is what is affecting. Yeah, yeah. We used it for one of our lesson the other time when we were doing padding left and all of that. Yeah, good. For the main content area. Okay, so we're gonna be, yeah, playing with you. So now what you have to do is just play with um the merging for. So if I'm shifting this now, let's say I want to shift, if I say 60 pixel, you're gonna see it's going to move. So you just play with the moving of the components. Can you see it's moving, right? So you just play with it to move it maybe to the center, margin, right? Just the same way we did it the other day, right? So, but you want to make sure that it starts almost the same place. Too much panic, right? What happen is that you're going to learn it easily using the resources in your own time. Like you're going to play with a lot of these codes, so it's not something that is that difficult, right? Once you start playing with it, you're going to learn more and more and more and more and more every day, right? You're going to learn more and more and more every day on it. So, right, so if you're going to adjust the screen size now, you're going to see that it will definitely, yeah, can you see? To definitely synchronize to any screen size you want. Let me try to change. So that's the main job of, that's the main job of media is to allow components to be able to stay uh, in order, right? To allow you to stay in order. So that's how the main um our content area for dividing the sections into three so that we can have different boxes and all of that. That's how it works. So yeah, so I'm going to be moving on to the next model, which is the Node 5, where we'll be creating our first website, right? And see you in the class, right? Bye.